Hello, welcome back to the Stay Sure Wellbeing YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Dawn Harper and today I'm going to talk about travelling with diabetes. Now, of course, if you have diabetes, you should be able to travel just like anyone else, but you will need to plan ahead a little more than most people. So if you're flying, I would start by contacting your airline, and you need to know a few things from them. Certainly if you're travelling long haul, you need to know the timings of the flights and the meals. If you're travelling east to west, you will effectively have a longer day, and you may need to take some extra snacks with you so that you can maintain a stable blood sugar level. If you're flying west to east, you will have a shorter day, and that may mean that you need to adjust your insulin dose accordingly. Generally speaking, if your time difference is 4 hours or less, you really shouldn't run into too much of a problem. But if the time difference is greater than 4 hours, then you may need to speak to your diabetic team about how you decide to change your insulin dose or what sort of timings you should think about taking a snack during your travels. You also need to speak to your airline about travelling with insulin and whether or not you will be asked to hand that over to the cabin crew. If not, then you might need to consider travelling with your insulin in a cool bag so that it maintains a stable temperature. And if your diabetes is managed by a pump, it's really important that you ask the airline whether you would be asked to disconnect that pump during travel. The Wi-Fi technology can interfere with some airline systems, and if you're going to be asked to disconnect your pump, then it's important that you speak to your diabetic team about getting some insulin and syringes so that you can inject yourself during the flight and maintain a stable blood sugar. Before you fly, it's also important that you speak to your GP on a number of different counts. You will need a letter from your doctor explaining that the medication is for your use, and certainly if you're travelling with needles, they will need to supply you with a letter saying the same. As I've mentioned before, that letter may actually incur a fee, so important that you check that. And it's important that your doctor also includes in that letter, if you're travelling with medicines over 100 mils, that is for medicinal purposes, in which case you will be allowed to travel with that through security. You will also need a letter from your doctor explaining the medicines that you're on, both in generic and trade names, as some medicines have different names in different countries. And finally, I always advise that you travel with more medication than you need to account for delays. But I think during the coronavirus pandemic, it would probably be reasonable to ask your doctor for double supplies so that should you find yourself in a local lockdown, you have enough medicine to cover your trip. So then we come to packing. I think it's really important that you carry all your medication with you in your hand luggage. So when you pack, you want to take your medication, your blood sugar monitoring equipment, the letters from your GP explaining that you need this medication and covering you for that. But also take some extra snacks with you so that you've got those readily available should your blood sugar start to fall. And also today you need to take plenty of face masks to cover the duration of your trip, and your hand sanitizer, which remember must be in bottles of less than 100 ml. And just one other thing to say when you're travelling, if you are travelling in hot countries, your insulin may get absorbed more quickly. And so it's worth just discussing that with your diabetic team, as you may find that you'd be more prone to sugars dropping and you need to be careful about what you're eating or changing your dose. And the converse is true. If you are in cold countries, your insulin may be absorbed more slowly. So you may need to think about that in terms of timing of your injections. I hope that's helped, and I hope you have a great holiday. As always, please do tell me if there are things you'd like me to discuss on this channel. Either message me here or you can email us anonymously on the website. But until then, have a lovely holiday, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.